does that, I mean, obviously you need speed to play corner, but is he translating it onto the field?
He is. Makeup speed's important. You know, when you do what we do, if you make a mistake and you don't have makeup speed, you're in trouble. He's got it, and that's a benefit to him because physically his strength is not the same as those other guys yet. It will be, and he's getting much more physical and tougher, but right now the speed is a huge advantage for him.
Where does he fit in that picture right now?
He's competing to play. He's competing to play. He is going to play. We got guys that are going to play. We cannot continue to go through seasons where our corners get 1,000 reps. We would love a situation where we could knock that down to 700 reps and have a bunch of kids getting playing time. And Denzel's going to compete. David Arnett's going to compete. Marshawn obviously is competing. Garion's competing. Damon Webb moved over to safety, and he's going to compete over there. We got a lot of really, really good, talented guys in our room that can compete to play. We're not competing to be backups, we're competing to play.
Is Damon's move permanent?
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it's experimental springtime stuff. You know, we got guys that are hurt right now. I know this, the best 11 football players are going to be on the field. And so if you're one of the best 11, we're going to find a spot for you.
Kerry, are you finally seeing Marshawn let it out? I mean, let it all go, or have you seen that a few times before?
I don't want to see it yet.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest with you, Tim, it makes me nervous every time there's a deep ball and he's got to rip and run. So I don't want to see it yet. When he looks me in the eye and says, "Coach, I'm good, I'm ready to go," then I want to see it. But we've certainly seen enough, you know, that this kid's a special talent.
Can you tell about Denzel that he got on the field last year? He did, you know, special. I mean, can you tell that he has some? When you watch a guy play, that he has some experience?
It gives you a greater confidence level right now.
Yeah.
You know, those guys that's scared rabbits. What we do out there right now is really hard. You know, you're on an island and you got to play. It takes great confidence, and confidence comes from playing and having successful play. And that's what Denzel did last half of the year on special teams. Denzel was lights out. So that really, he walks on the field right now. He feels pretty good about what he's doing. Thanks, Tim.
What has it been like to work with Greg?
Shiano, I love working with Greg Shiano. You know, he's a professional. He's got extreme volume of knowledge about the game. He's a good father. I love having conversations with him about that. And it's another voice. I think the benefit to coaching at Ohio State is the 9 guys on the staff. You know, Greg Stigwell was exactly the same. We bring in new coaches that are outstanding. And you learn things from everybody. And I sit right next to Greg and all the defensive staff meetings, and I'm really enjoying the process.
Can you tell his depth of experience? I mean, what just jumps out in the conversations y'all have?
Well, yes, because, you know, you've got Luke Fickle, who's got 20 years of great experience, and he can tell you about these things and how they happened here. And then you've got Greg, who's got this great experience of different places, offensive. He's been coaching quarterbacks for a while. You know, I mean, he's giving you the offensive perspective. You got Larry Johnson with 20 plus years of unbelievable experience. So sitting in our defensive room right now, you know, you really get the opportunity to learn from all those guys.
He says he likes to make his position meetings competitive. I mean, does he do the same when he's sitting next to you in the coaches' meetings?
I think we challenge each other every day on everything. And, you know, there's things that he says and I just take it and move on. And then there's things that I challenge. And I think that's part of good relationships. And so, yeah, it's very competitive in our staff. Absolutely.
Is it fair to ask this question if you had a game tomorrow, who your other cornerback would be?
If we play tomorrow, it'd be Marshawn. And Denzel's going to play. And Arnett's going to play. And that's really how I see it, in all honesty. Norwood's got to get better. He's not ready yet. But those 4 kids are going to play week 1 if they're all healthy. And that's very exciting.
And when you're talking about, you don't want somebody playing 1,000 plays, you're including Garion in that thing, yeah? I mean,
played 1,013 plays last year. Eli played 1,008. I mean, I don't want that. We don't want that. You know, and they have great value in other areas to this team on special teams. But if they play 1,000 plays a corner, it's hard to play on a lot there. So we gotta change that a little bit, and we haven't been able to. We got the depth, and I'm gonna tell you what, those freshmen coming in, they're gonna compete to play too. So there's a lot of room. We got some really, really talented kids.
I feel like there are some positions on the team, maybe receiver, maybe defensive line, where you can see that the rotation works. I don't believe that you guys are really going to rotate those guys. I mean, I know it seems like.
So in other words,
I think you guys.
Doug, you're saying, Coach Combs, you're lying to me.
I think you guys.
Here's what I'll tell you.
We haven't
It's
seen
a great
it.
question.
We
No,
haven't
you know
seen it.
because why?
Because your starters are really good.
That's a valid point, and because our backups haven't been good enough, and that's the reality.
So, but you're going to
go back to Michigan State. Eli's hamstring,
Right,
right? Garyon goes in. Where'd they go? Right now, right at him, right? That's what they do.
Yeah.
So went right at him, and what happened? Boom, boom. They scored in 3 plays, right? So guess what? There's a lesson learned there, right? You're not ready. So if they go out there now, Doug, and they're not ready, then they're not going to play. Because at the end of the day, the Buckeyes' job at corners, but we got to carry victory for the team, right? I mean, that's our job. So if they're not ready, they won't play.
But if they're ready, and you get Oklahoma in week 3,
Right. We better find out week 1.
Can you would put Denzel Ward out on the field in the
If
third
he's
series
ready-
instead of Marshawn? You would just rotate?
If he's ready, big picture, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. That is the goal. And you got to remember this. This is the thing people don't really understand. We're really playing 4 corners a lot. Okay, we're playing those 2 guys on the outside, but guess what? The nickel's a corner. And that guy that plays that field safety position, you might as well call him a slot corner, right? Because Von Bell was a corner skill kind of a player. And so we're playing a lot of corners. So they may not end up being out here. They may end up being a nickel. They may end up being somewhere else. But they got to get on the field and play.
Are you seeing one of those safety
Couple
step
more
up
questions.
in that regard, like being able to play like y'all used Vaughn last year?
Yes.
Who is that? I mean, who?
I think Malik Hooker's got the skill set to do that right now. I think Damon Webb has the skill set to do that right now. And I think Eric Smith does when he's healthy. So I think we have guys that can play that position. Absolutely.
Well, you compete against the receivers every day.
Yeah.
They're inexperienced. Can you give your impressions of what you've seen so far?
I think the growth in Torrance Gibson is ridiculous. I think he's really developing. He's got a long way to go, but he's really tall, really fast, and really physical. Austin Mack is going to be a very, very good player for the Buckeyes. He's competitive, he's learning, he's growing. And I think Terry McLaurin, Paris Campbell, and James Clark have shown tremendous improvement this year. This is a great thing for them, that those other guys are not there playing right now. It is great, and it is a war every day. So they're really coming.
Last year you would have seen Noah Brown. He got hurt. How big a loss was that?
Well, Noah Brown is a phenomenal. So he's back. So I'm not worried about last year. I'm over this year. He's playing. He's going to be a great player. He's hard to cover. He's a big, strong buck who can catch the ball. He is a tough dude. Tough dude.
Kerry, I can't let you get out of here without asking a recruiting question.
Sure.
And for at least this year, you guys have accepted commitments from a few guys that haven't visited yet from out of state. Just wondering what you thought about the sped up process and what it's like to accept a commitment from somebody who hasn't been here yet.
Well, you better know a lot about them, right? You better know a lot about their coach, their school, their environment, where they come from. And they got to learn a lot about us. I mean, those guys could show up in June, July, August, September and say, well, we don't like you guys. I mean, we're not going to change, right? We're going to be who we are. And so I think that the great news is a lot of guys want to be Buckeyes right now. And it's an exciting thing. And so they understand that it's going to be a small class. And they're eager to get on board. So I don't think you're ever as comfortable as you are if you've got a kid you've had in camp and had them 1,000 times on campus. But that process has to take place.
You guys would take a commitment from a kid if you know that maybe their main goal is to reserve a spot in the class.
I can't understand. I'm certain.
Meaning that they would commit to you so they have their
I
spot.
didn't hear the first part of your question.
You guys are comfortable with that?
That's Coach Meyer's call. Those calls are Coach Meyer's call. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna recruit the crap out of everyone that can play, right? And the boss gets to pick, and that's a good thing for us.
What is it like though to have guys? Urban said Ohio State's always been an attraction, a national attraction, but in my opinion, it's never been like this. To have guys committed to you who haven't visited, what does that say about where I guess y'all have gone in 4 years?
Well, I think the world is different, right? The world's a lot smaller. I mean, there's so many things, so much information that you can give a kid right now through video. They can see panoramic views of the campus. They can FaceTime and see all kinds of stuff. They can literally be in a meeting when they're not there, but they are there. They know what you look like, what you sound like. They've seen us on training days and all those things that have been out there. So they got a pretty good feel for who we are. And then obviously, between our head coach and the reputation of this program, kids know where we're headed. That pro day was ridiculous. And there's a lot of guys saying, hey, I want a part of that. Well, no kidding. When you do this, kids want to be a part of that, right? And that's an exciting thing. So I think that's why it's like it is.
And that was holding up the